up, dollies? I'm Dominique and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about rewriting your narrative and what that means for me, or how I did it. And then I'm going to talk about a book I just finished reading called Material Girl, Mystical World. So today I wanted to first dive into what it is, what it means to rewrite your narrative and how I did it. I'm still working on it, but I have come so far within the last 12 months. Like a lot of people can now see a major difference. I see a difference and I'm absolutely loving it. So to me, it is, when you rewrite your narrative, it's taking a negative and turning into a positive. My life wasn't bad before by any means, but there was some things I wanted to change. So I wanted to have my whole new outlook on life, be more patient, and just dress a certain way and then act a certain way compared to before. A lot of people knew me and I was very shy. I still am, but I'm definitely working on it. But yeah, so first things first is, in order to rewrite your narrative, I think it is very important for you to be able to know your triggers. So like, what makes you fearful, what hurts you, what is something that you thought you got over and you didn't. Because there's some things that I personally thought I got over, and there was just that little voice in the back of my head I didn't always hear, but sometimes it would pop up in the conversations I was having, and I realized it was stemmed from childhood, which everyone has a childhood. Not all of it was pretty by any means for anyone, but it is important to figure out where certain thoughts are coming from so you're able to rewrite it. And rewriting it for me, again, is making any negative assumptions and turning into a positive. So my thoughts about money and how it's scarce and I wouldn't have a lot, I can only pay bills, I would physically write it out, and then I'd ask myself, where did this come from? Like, I didn't just one day think of it. Where did I learn it from? Was it from the media? Was it from my parents? Was it from other family members? Was it from friends? Like, where did this come from? Once I learned where it came from, I told myself, like, I literally just looked in the mirror and was like, no, that is it. What we do know is that that is someone's opinion. That also is my opinion on what it's like. So I can change that. And what I'm going to change it to is, money is always available. There's an overabundance of money. And I have a lot of opportunities to come and let this money come towards me. And that's just one example for money, but that's what I did, and it actually worked for me. And then I also, so I keep looking in the mirror. I also looked in the mirror and kept like telling myself, didn't just say things that I thought sounded good. I actually truly believed it. That's another thing that is important. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, like make $1 million within a month. Like, if you can, amazing for you, that's fantastic, but also truly believing in it, and it will help. So for me, I truly believe there's so many opportunities to make money, and once I'm open to it and my energy is finally not with that negative mindset, I'm able to let it flow towards me and make more opportunities available. So that's just one thing. But with that being said, just because you think it doesn't mean that's gonna just happen. Like, you need to also put in the work and use your actions, because a thought is good, but it's not as meaningful when you don't put your actions behind it, because then it's just a thought. Like, if you want it to become your reality, you need to like put action towards it. So after that, I wrote it down, because for me, my mind's always going every which way with my life, with my kids and everything. So I tend to write a lot of things down, which is why I keep looking down also. It's just, it helps me remember. So I did that, step one. The second step was I asked who I want to be. So I didn't just be like, I want to be a successful woman. I wrote down, what does a successful woman look like to me? And then like I wrote everything I thought a successful woman looked like. And then next I said, do I possess any of these qualities? And then I listed if I did or not. And then after that I said, how can I possess the qualities that makes this woman successful? And for me, I enjoyed I enjoyed using Pinterest and really looking at different I heard it's like aesthetics, looking at different aesthetics and seeing what one I felt like spoke to me. And for me it's like a hyper feminine, I guess. I don't know. I'm learning these new aesthetic words and everything, but that really, the really girly parts spoke to me. That's something I have always loved, even from childhood. Like I can think back and I always wanted to wear heels. And the type of woman I wanted to be when I was older was I want to wear heels, dresses. I want to carry my purse. My hair is gonna look nice and somewhat put together, and everything like that. So I looked on Pinterest and then I wrote it down also on what does this successful version of myself look like? What do I wear? What do I smell like? What is my typical day going to be? And for me, I always want to read for at least an hour, unless it's a good book. I like go overboard. I can spend the whole day reading. Trying to get some fresh air is good. I like to read and drink with tea. And if I'm having trouble sleeping, I'll have a tea also. But I tried to think of things that I also haven't done and try to incorporate. So every day I've been slowly incorporating something new until it sticks, and then it's not like, oh, like I forgot to do that. It's just like naturally for me now. And I kept working on it until it did that. And so like an example of this is always making my bed. I used to have a problem with it. I don't know why, but for the past 2-3 months I make sure I do it, and now when I don't, it bothers me. Like I always have to have it done. I have to have my room clean. Anything, I have to have plants and flowers in my room because it just brightens me. It makes my mood feel so much more better when I wake up or when I enter the room and I see beautiful flowers and a plant that's thriving. I'm I love it. So it worked for me. And I also thought of how do I want to be perceived. So I want people when they come towards me or they meet me first time that I have a friendly smile, I'm open, and just overall like friendly, and I have natural eye, like natural pretty eyes are striking. That's something I want people to remember. I don't know why, but just remember my eyes for some reason. Not, I know why. Because they say that eyes are the windows to the soul. And I truly do believe that also. So yeah, that's something that works. And again, after you write down everything and you change it, start doing the small actions, because trying to do everything at once is going to be overwhelming. You're going to be frustrated. So doing small steps and slowly adding more in once you get comfortable will definitely help. And like for me, I love wearing heels. I want to be able to wear heels every day, and dresses, but right now it's kind of cold, so we're working on that. But I'm trying to incorporate that and make sure that when I'm look good, I feel good. So to me, looking good again is with heels, with my perfume, my my natural hair, my hair somewhat put together, and a little bit of makeup. That will make me feel confident and like I'm gonna get stuff done. Usually I do. Even if I'm at home, I want to wear like a small kitten heel in the house. That's just, they're like my indoor slippers, but the kitten heels. and it just helps. Anyways, so again, yeah, those definitely help me, and I hope they do help you as well. The next thing I want to talk about is Material Girl Mystical World. I believe her name's pronounced Ruby Warrington. I'll put the description down below. She is such an amazing author. Like, I found this book on bookoutlet.ca. If you want to find books that are used or sometimes new, definitely go there because they are a lot cheaper than some of the bookstores that you may go to now. And yeah, I absolutely love it. I got like 9 books for $80. There was a sale, but it was amazing. So I stocked up. Anyway, so this book is about, if pretty much what the title says, like being a material girl in a spiritual world. She used mystical though. So to me, I always thought that I would have to choose one or the other, that I couldn't be both, because I don't know, that's what I thought you had to do. Like, you either had to be one thing or the other. You can't be both. And then, not even just reading the book, but going through life, I've learned you can't, like, there's no such thing as black and white. There's always going to be gray, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to be 100% sporty and then, or 100% nerd. Like, you can be nerdy in some ways and athletic in other ways. Those are the first 2 that popped into my mind, but whatever. But I love this book because not only did she speak from her personal experiences and showed not just the good parts, but the ugly parts that a lot of people don't really want to show. She explained that in the book. And then what I really loved about it is she gave exercises to do to know yourself a bit more. So there's like money mantra, how to face uncertainty, how to deal with toxic people. And she was just so authentic, the way she was writing, that I actually ended up following her on social media and looking through more of her content to try and find another book if she has it. But yeah, she does amazing things. And the one thing that, and like, not the one thing, the other thing that she said, which, spoiler alert, sorry, I think it's in like Wicca, or like about the triple goddess. She believed with one of her friends, Allie, and through the red tent ceremony, it's about womanhood is defined by the triple goddess. And if you don't know what the triple goddess is, it's maiden, mother, and crone. Her friend also believes that it was, there's also a 4th, which I'll let her if you read the book, it will go. But what she said is the maiden is carefree with her energy and learning about herself, which I truly believe. Even when anyone, like when you're young, you're learning about yourself, you figure out who you want to be, what you want to do in your life. And then the mother phase is about nurturing and birthing, whether it's business or creative projects or actual like pushing out baby, or being an animal mom, dog mom, cat mom, whatever it is. But what really stuck with me was, she said, when we don't acknowledge this transition from our maiden to motherhood, the maiden gets upset and fixates on something, whether it's like partying or their appearance or choosing partners who do not care for them. And why I love this so much is because I really resonated with it, And I remember before my daughter, I was transitioning into motherhood without realizing, like I had no idea or anything. And some of the people that I was letting in my life was definitely not people I would ever let in my life now. Just, we didn't mend good. And it brought out a different side of me. And then I was into partying and all this, and I'm like, why am I like this right now? Like, I wasn't into this. Why am I like this now? And it was until 4 years later, reading this book, that I'm like, That if I read this book a while ago, probably maybe would have helped, maybe, probably not. I wasn't ready for it. But I can relate to it, and I do believe that it is. So not saying that you're always, if you're a partier, good for you. Personally, I wasn't. So for me, I should have realized I was acting out of character. But when you're in the moment, you don't really think about that stuff. So it took me a while again. But looking back at it now, I'm like, wow. Like, how did I not see this? How did no one else see this? But I'm pretty sure my family and friends did see it. I just wanted to be Dom and be right and do things my own way. But yeah, so that's something I also think is very important to not. I know it's hard when you miss something, when you transition from something you used to into another thing, but also embracing that change, because that transition, transition, whatever you want to call it, because you're going to be grieving a little bit, but in a whole other view, you're going into the unknown. Like, there's so many possibilities that you don't know what's going to happen. And it can be the most beautiful, loving thing that happened to you. That's what happened to me. I had met my husband, I had my kids. My whole life has changed drastically, and I cannot be more thankful. And again, if I continued to hang out with those people and make the decisions I did, I wouldn't have anything that I have now. So I think it's very important. And yeah, oh, thank you, God. I think it's just very important to know who you were and where you came from, to know where you are going to go. But before I keep rambling, I'm going to go now, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye, love you.